Всем привет! Мы будем смотреть сейчас тоже. Сейчас мы будем смотреть железный зовут. Глава 2, круглый из 8. Будем смотреть. Вот я продолжаю, что хорошо так закончится.
And I feel, GSL is the perfect environment for someone who enjoys that kind of preparation.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's really going to bring to the table in this best of 3, or best of 5 actually.
Over to our left-hand side, as our pink Zerg, he goes by the name of Millennium Ghost.
Yeah, and just has that old tag going up there, and don't be fooled by his opponent. Life on the right side with the Startail tag. He, unlike parting, is actually still in Startail for real. So he's sticking around at least a little bit longer. We'll see what happens in the future.
Like in life, he's pretty darn well for himself.
Скажите, сколько стоит, чтобы, 30 минут сделать видео, что я же сама
him beating MVP, but his games look phenomenal. And you cannot doubt a player that took out MMA in the group stage and Genius in the group stage in the same group where both of those players took out Acer Nurture. So, Ghost here is certainly stepping up to the mark for Iron with Chapter 2, and, but he's going to have a tough mountain to climb in the form of Life.
Yeah, he is, and we have, by the way, Life with an earlier pool coming out, so we'll see how the Gosu user can respond.
Life was doing this a lot during his series versus Lino catch teams, going for quite a lot of 10 pulls and just trying to put on the pressure, trying to basically nibble away at his opponent's expansion, trying to force the cancel, and going over there with say 8 to 10 Zerglings, and then trying to combat Gosu user who will have, he knows they're on the way, but because of lava restrictions, he ends up with like 6 to 8 Zerglings by the time his opponent gets over there with 8 to 10, so it's a bit annoying to micro against.
Yeah, it's really tough to actually hold your expansion against something like this, especially against someone whose control is as phenomenal as this guy's. And now, of course, moving across, and I'm not letting you take this one away from I'm having some problems with my StarCraft client, but I'll be back in just a moment.
It looks like those drones are actually being pulled up on here. The Ghost user is trying to deal with this as best he can with the automaton in the way. That's certainly the Arthos spot, trying to get into the fray as well, but for now, Startail Life does have quite a lot of Zerglings here. Ghost user doing a good job of pulling this and trying to defend this expansion, but he is losing quite a bit of mining time during all of this. At the same time, well, Startail Life doesn't have that many drones either back home here. They are going to engage, trying to nibble away at those Zerglings. Startail Life for now gets pushed away. Ghost user with a very, very nice attempt.
I'm going to have to let you keep handling this one, Colaris, but I think I'm at a similar time as you and you, so I don't want to say anything incorrect. But just looking at things right now, I think the game kind of evens up. Both players sitting in, of course, gases now. A little bit later for this, because he has a better instruction. And he's held this without taking that.
It was a good defense, the boys. Technically speaking, because he pulled 6 drones off as opposed to 4, which would have actually evened up the income, he lost a little bit of mining time, but he now has that lava advantage on that hatch with him. As I was just a little bit before live, and the second queen out way before his opponent as well. So just to use to find himself in a comfortable spot here, getting a few more drones from his opponent as well. And Startail Life just looking to hold a little catch-up game with a few drones here and there.
And he's, at this point in time, he will actually have a slightly faster rating speed, Life will, and I wonder how that's going to come into play. Of course, both players have to make a bailing at this moment in time in PvP, even if the map is massive, even if you have a narrow click. The golden rule I like to say is if your opponent is accurate, you have to have bailing, because otherwise you can't deal with the big deal, the fact that you won't be able to know about clicks too late. And on the other hand, with this really, really fast he's coming off the life comparatively. He could actually put on some heavy aggression, but he's not going to know necessarily that that opportunity is there for him.
Well, I think you might be entirely right there. He's producing 14 zerglings right now. Meanwhile, Ghost is behind us. He's actually going a spine crawler. Is he going to start walling off the front of his main? It's a big question, because then the spine can quite easily choke off those positions. He's actually going to the rope for him as well, more defensive baiting. So Ghost is playing this super defensively right now. Well, he knows all of his aggression is coming here from life, so he has to prepare for this amply, and those baiting connections are so important.
Yeah, they're going to be really, really important for him here. And here comes the Lynx going at that spine crawler. So make sure he does not actually take a big hit here. The Queen's blocking the ramp, making this really easy for Ghost to use the defense. At the same time, Lynx going from the middle line, trying to find openings, but the position here for Ghost to use is just too strong.
Oh, wow, but at the same time, Life control with those openings was phenomenal. He was splitting up just one zergling at every given time, connecting with one of those banelings, making it very cost ineffective there for Ghost user. New banelings could be morphing into either side right now as Life goes back once again, trying to find ample position to try and deal with this. Ghost user, well, he hasn't lost many drones, and he's actually stabilizing quite nicely with his unit count.
Yeah, it really is, and he's got his own defensive banelings up, but he lost the spine crawler. I don't think Life's going to commit too much more to this aggression, but he wants to keep the pressure on at the very least, so he can go up and take it home. Really, banelings really carry here. Oh wow, that was a great baneling hit there.
And that was. Looks like Ghost user now still moving. He's going to move across the map here, try and put some aggression of his own. With all of that, the zerglings is created. Oh, wait a minute, we have Life actually catching a Queen in his opponent's natural as well. It's going to limit quite a lot farther. Zerglings going to run in. Oh, the Baneling connects really strong quickly as well. First some drones where he can. There's another Baneling morphing in for Life. He needs that. Zerglings trying to chew away at drones, but actually that was Life hardly lost anything in terms of the drone count, only 2.
Yeah, I mean, his drones got really low there, but he didn't actually finish very many of them off, so it was a funny situation for him there, but that baneling hit was insanely good. Now Life with a massive lead in his air tank over his opponent. Ghost user, on the other hand, is making some roaches. He may try to hit a timing with his roaches once he realizes his opponent has that faster layer effect. Again, a little run by here for Life, and he actually gets into the main base, and Life is going to be able to see with getting into the main base, oh, no layer at all. He gets a few drones, but more importantly, he knows exactly where his opponent is at in terms of stats.
Yeah, that's very true. Just using that as a scouting mechanism as well is very strong. And, you know, I mean, he killed 17 workers off right now. Ghost user is putting on some pressure with a lot of roaches, but the fact that Life has at least 15 more drones than his opponent and is getting roached out with spine crawlers up and running, Ghost user can't get over here in time without the reinforcement path of Life kicking in and those roaches being out and prepared to defend.
Now, Ghost user moving across the map with this big attack. Life has 2 spine crawlers. He knows he's ahead of tank. He knows he needs to defend here. The evolution chamber goes under fire immediately, and I'm not sure Life is going to be able to hold this part of his wall, but he's getting more and more roaches out. He has to be able to hold that evolution chamber. The banelings, oh yeah, the banelings are the problem.
They could actually technically just crush the evolution chamber. Not the most cost-effective use of it, but still could kill it off. Now he goes forward here, trying to do some damage himself, engaging against these spine crawlers. This isn't the most amazing concave for Ghost user. His life spreads out very nicely against the banelings. They'll connect at the same time. Ghost user does have more roaches here than his opponent, so he's going to try and push forward. Killing off a Queen is a big hit there, and a few zerglings trying to nibble away at drones, trying to even things up. This one only got 10 words killed, 11 words killed. It's actually soaring here. Life taking quite a bit of damage.
He's taking a lot of damage. I mean, I don't think he's going to necessarily die here, but so many workers killed. And at this point in time, the spine crawler goes to work as well. We'll clean this up, but look at the supply. It's pretty even. Worker count, on the other hand, is 40 now to 25. And Ghost user takes a massive harvester supply lead. Still a little bit behind the peg, and one of the most crucial things for Life right now is that his evolution chamber is not high, and he does get the crucial +1, because that's one thing he's going to have over his opponent.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Having that +1 is big. It adds +2 damage, so instead of some kind of carapace, which only has +1 armor, very useful indeed. And that's going to push forward here. There's not that many roaches out for Ghost user. Again, I think the reinforcement path should be pretty good here, but, you know,
Yeah.
Live still has a few more roaches on the way, posing quite a bit of threat.
Yeah, really nice micro by both players. In fact, every time a roach is on the side, the players pull it back. Continue to try to target down that queen, unfortunately not able to do so. If you can get a queen with DV, it makes such a big difference. You can limit your opponent's production and his creep spread if you want it, and even beyond that, transfusions are so important in this matchup for keeping units alive and also keeping the structures alive.
It really is important. And actually, well, whilst we still have Carmelo poking out his front face that we will be shooting back for now, it's important to note that Explosive User actually timed out his previous aggression really, really well. If he hadn't have done that, he still would have been 15 working behind. But these even things up really, really nicely, and he knew exactly when to go in, when to actually push forward, and when to actually strike, even without the advantage of a concave and the main links were really surprisingly strong against these roaches for Mike.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the way he timed it was so crucial, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because if you waited a few more seconds, Life would have had enough units out to defend, and would have been able to defend that without losing much at all. Would have even been able to make more spine cores, for example. Now, what Life does have, even though he's in a supply deficit right now, is these investors, and that's going to be something he can use defensively. Neither player really looking like they want to take third base just yet. This game is so just constant aggression. Both players fighting each other back and forth. This is the first time the Ghost User sit back and relax for a second. And the Ghost User has other plans, it looks like, actually moving across the map with those roaches.
Big roach timing could hit here. One thing, another thing that attributes to an advantage for Life here is his vision on the map is absolutely fantastic, whereas Ghost User doesn't really know much about the map. So if his opponent was going for some aggression, then that would sting him quite heavily. I kind of feel that Ghost User is maybe just scared of some kind of mutilus in ZVZ, not having the on the field.
Exactly, you're right. And on this map, you look for slight top of the third base is so far away. That's another reason why I feel these bases have been taken so late for both players, because they're a little bit concerned. What if he moves out with roaches and lings? What if he moves out with mutas? Am I going to be able to come on my base? My creep is pretty gold too late because the whole fighting that's been going on. And Ghost User wants to deny the base of Life, but Life has just enough roaches to defend against the first wave. And Ghost User is going to commit, but Life, if he gets good fumbles here, can really turn things around.
It's going to be a big deal. He does land a few fumbles down. The Infested Terrans go down as well, benefiting from that push upgrade that he does have. But also, Ghost User now has push on as well. Look, he gets something out here. Ghost User still putting on a lot of pressure. He does have more roaches than his opponent in this occasion, but the reinforcements come for Life to be able to push that back. Nicely done by Life.
Yeah, that was a really good play for him, keeping that base alive, having that defensive location on the... Just having that location where you're ready to defend at the hatchery, knowing about your opponent's push is one thing that I really want to stress about Life. He has a great overlord, but you say the same with Ghost User though as well. In this matchup, Life is really known for killing overlords, so you can see he's actually going to work killing some overlords right outside the natural. This is something that's basically only he is doing right now in ZVZ.
Yeah, and I think, you know, poor Ghost User got kind of brutalized there by a bad rally point. Meanwhile, though, the roaches are certainly going to flood in the middle of the map. Live getting caught out of position slightly here, and Ghost User will be able to kill the majority of this, even locking the remaining roaches down and killing them off. That's a nice pickup for him, especially considering that the work counts are slightly in favour of Life right now, so Ghost User needs any little incremental advantage to get.